how it's supposed to feel.
Hello everyone and welcome to another test. Now it's been requested for quite some time that I do test the COMODO Internet Security beta version. So I do believe I have the latest version, but if I do not, just let me know after the test. But this is the version that I have. We'll look at it now, and it's gonna go up against Arcabit Internet Security. Also been a while since I've tested Arcabit. Now we're going to look at COMODO settings. There's quite a bit of settings, so I'm going to go through it as quickly as possible. Under the updates, we did did select to use the full signature database and update every hour. I'm using my own profile that I've imported, so we'll look at the settings. Okay, so under real-time protection, everything is pretty much set to on and to maximum protection. We're not going to do any full scans during the test, so that's how the full scan looks like. Now if we go hop over to the settings itself, these are the settings we're going to use for the full scan, but scheduling, let's rather say do not schedule this task. We're going to hop over to containment. Okay, so under containment, we pretty much left most of it as default, but we did say to run automatically in container and not to select that during the test every time. And our scripts are excluded as well, so that the scripts don't go into containment. And these are some predefined rules for apps to run in containment and block. Now on HIPS, we're going to do a block request. If HIPS does give me issues during the test with the script, I'll make adjustments to it, but we have created some exclusions for the script. These are the rule sets, protected objects, okay, and then heaps groups, and then under firewall, firewall is on block request. These are predefined rules. We did not change anything here. Okay, so we're going to go to file rating. Now file rating is set to pretty much everything enabled. These are the file groups. Okay, just login, scan exclusions, and then script analysis is set to on for embedded code detection and heuristic command line. Same with autoruns. And that we're going to go to advanced. Okay, so virus scope is enabled. It will monitor all files, and we're using the two recognizers. Device control, website filtering is enabled. That's the category. So no, so blocked websites is malware sites, fish sites, suspicious sites, etc. All users set to block. And miscellaneous, and that's about it. So let's apply those settings. We're going to hop over to Arcabit. Now under protection, we've got real-time protections enabled, move file to quarantine, heuristics is high, and auxiliary is pretty much everything enabled. Okay, safe storage, we're not really going to test that. Email protection, we're not going to test that as well today. I'll do that later. Browser protection, I'm going to leave that to normal. Firewall, pretty much these are the rules. USB, we're not testing that. Media control, not testing. Application control, not testing. Round kick EDR is enabled, and that's about that. Okay, printer control, update, general. So these are pretty much our settings. These are the tools that you can use within it. There's password managers and things like that. Details. We can do scans. Protection is enabled, but you can see these ones we're not using. And yeah, I think that's a nice quick one for Arcabit. We are using a trial, so we've got 21 days left. Now I'm going to get the nasties extracted, but before I do that, I have to disable the protection. Okay, so I think everything is now ready and done. So for the samples we've got today, we have 1,793 samples for today. So it ranges from all types of different application files, from false positive, POPs, all kinds of Trojan, ransomwares, you name it. Got a couple of compressed files, Java files, VBs, Office documents, PDF files, Office documents, I think I mentioned, PowerShell, and some other zippy files, and that's about it. So we've got the same amount of samples. Now let's just quickly make sure that these products are up to date. Okay, I think they should be up to date. And they're both using Proton VPN. And something I don't always mention is the samples that we're using for this test is no older than the beginning of May. So for the last 11 days worth of samples. I don't really like testing with super old samples. So the oldest sample is about 2 weeks old up until what I'd recently downloaded before I started recording. So from very fresh samples to about 11 days old at the most. Okay, so COMODO is up to date, and Arcabit is up to date. Let's just quickly check what I disabled here. Auto containment's enabled. Oops, yeah, let's just do a firewall. Okay, so I think we can get the protection going. Gonna do that. We are gonna do that. Let's just make sure that Windows Defender is not gonna mess us around in this test. Okay, there we go. Okay, so those are the active AVs. COMODO's happy. Arcabit, we've got cloud protection, EDR, etc. etc. Okay, let's go back to that. Okay, cool. So first test is website test. Let's quickly check what happens. Okay, so we've got a couple of things opening, a couple of things trying to download. Let's keep that one. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that one as well. Why not? Let's keep malware on the machines. Okay, so it looks like we are done, but judging by the little tab icons, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like any of the web pages have actually been stopped. This is not good at all. Not good. Okay, so those two didn't resolve. Same for Arcabit. That's quite odd. Oh, there we actually had one from Arcabit. Where was it? Cool. Okay, cool. So we have one from Arcabit. That's good. But one out of a couple is not so great. Okay, two. Got 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages, 6 pages. Okay, but we do have a couple of ones that opened up here. Let's say ignore. Okay. Microsoft SharePoint. Yep, I'm pretty sure that is SharePoint. Yeah, okay, so not so great, but it seems like Arcabit did better than COMODO. We do have a couple of pages that actually open up here, so I would say according to opening the web pages themselves, seems like Arcabit is going to take this one. Let's just see how many files downloaded. Okay, so we've got a couple of files here. Some of these files look a bit older. Okay, cool. So there, Arcabit is now interfering. Okay, cool. So it seems like Arcabit removed some of the files now in Explorer, but we do have a couple of files here for COMODO. So I'm obviously the files here is blanked out. It's not really appropriate to show. It's got a little bit of discrimination, so I just blank these ones out, guys. So, but yeah, we do have 4 files versus about 10 or so files for COMODO, and I see no block pages from COMODO. Seems like all the web pages open, so that's not good. So Arcabit took the win on this one, but now it's time for the main event. The one that I think you guys are more interested in is the malware test. always a mission to get it into that little corner. Okay, so it seems like we've got some pages here by Arcabit. Okay, got some pages here with COMODO. Okay, we've got a bunch of things running in containment. That's one of the strong points with COMODO, is the virtualization of unknown things, unknown files or applications that they are not aware of. So it's really one of COMODO's strong points, I would say. Okay, got a couple of things running here. Okay, so this big ass pop-up from Arcabit is quite prevalent in your face, but it does look like, I think it's auto counting down. I can't actually remember of Arcabit if it does auto close, but we do have a bunch of Z pop-ups. Move that out of the way, goodness gracious me. Okay, gonna attend to COMODO. COMODO is complaining about what my script knew. I'm gonna say ignore and add to exclusion, please. Okay, Arcabit is smashing away at our bugs. Doesn't seem like we've got any real issues yet. Let's hop over to COMODO and move out of the way, please. Yes, process. Okay, cool. But I think all of these ones are in containment. Okay, so we've got some pop-ups from COMODO, VT root, so that is their containment folder. So anything that goes into containment goes to C VT root. Let's close this one. Okay, so Arcabit is smashing away at malware. That's good. We don't really seem to have anything major running as of yet. Okay, and COMODO is busy, so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to attend to this. We do have a couple of things here, but I think they're all in containment. And yeah, so if there's anything interesting or funky or cool to show, I'll do that. But for now, I am going to smash away at the detonation of these samples. Install, click on everything, whatever there is, and I'll come back to you guys once the test is done. Okay guys, so I'm just pointing out that we have these little nice color rainbows happening on the COMODO VM. I'm not sure if it's something actually in containment that is obviously running, but yeah, we've got all these funny colors. So for those who are suffering from epilepsy, just be cautious when you look at this. But yeah, so I'm gonna still continue the execution of the malware, but we have our nice little blocks here. Just want to show that to you guys. The Arcabit VM is still busy. I don't have any real issues with the Arcabit VM. Let's just get that one. But yeah, everything else seems to be blocked pretty nicely by Arcabit. But I just want to point this out, and then we'll look at the results once the test is done. Okay guys, so I'm still busy with the execution on Arcabit. The COMODO VM seems to be stuck or frozen. It did kick me out, so I'm trying to sign back in. Before it kicked me out, it was extremely slow and non-responsive, so I'm not sure if all the malware in the containment was chewing up all the memory and maybe free space that's causing the VM to lock up. But I'm gonna try and get it going again, otherwise I'll be forced to restart the VM and then continue the test. But I just wanted to point this out. Okay guys, the test is done, and as you guys can glimpse to the left, we obviously have a unfortunate problem. I personally also did not expect this from COMODO, but we do unfortunately have ransomware infection on this machine. Now I think that's partially why the machine got so slow and started to lock up, because obviously with the majority of ransomware, it does use up a lot of resources to encrypt the files and things like that. So I think that's partially why the VM was acting up. Now it seems like it is cache ransomware. If we look at the README file, this is obviously what they are telling us, blah blah blah, that the files are encrypted. I did try to actually identify it with ID ransomware. I'm just going to try and do it again. Let's just see if it does load. Let's try again, because they were because it seems like there was two ransomwares, if I'm not mistaken, or it's just the one, but we have multiple different extensions, but that just could be the same ransomware. But in any case, I'm not going to look at it any further. So this is the notification on what we need to do, and obviously the timer that we have. I'm just going to put that to the side. Now if we look at our desktop, the files on the desktop seems to be fine, and it also seems like it's a partial infection, not a complete infection, but these are the files in our downloads folder. On the documents, as you guys can see, the documents are fine, they're intact, and the majority of the pictures are encrypted, I think, but there are some, as you can see, funny enough, as the COMODO picture survived. But yeah, so some of our pictures survived, some of them did not. But yeah, so that's the stance on the COMODO VM. It obviously still wants to restart, so that's quite sad to see that we do have ransomware infection on this machine. I'm just going to cancel this. Not sure over the balance. Okay, cool. There, it stopped it. So as you guys can see, the protection is on, it's active, it's running. So I'm not sure how this evaded containment. It could also be remote ransomware infection. I haven't actually had the time yet to look up how cache ransomware gets onto the system. If it's maybe a remote ransomware, that could also be a thing. But I'll check it up afterwards. But yeah, so as you guys can see, our wallpaper has also changed. Now let's quickly see if this is still running. Yeah, so minimize that. Yeah, so let's wait while that loads. Okay, I just had to reconnect the VPN quickly. So now let's try it again. Okay, so while we wait for that, let's quickly check out our programs that have installed on the COMODO VM. We've got this Artificious, Crypto Wallet, Corotto DJ, and this one here, and that's about it. So, and obviously I did not complete the test since once I've noticed that there's ransomware infection, I think it was midway through the test, I just stopped the test, because as the majority of you guys know, as soon as I see ransomware infection, I stop the test, as there's no point continuing the test. Now it seems like we do have these threads that are all running, and unfortunately I cannot see that they are in containment. It's only this one file that's in containment. If we looked at the block files, you guys can see there's a couple in the VT root, so this is quite sad to see. I don't think I've ever seen ransomware infection on COMODO, and it doesn't seem like it wants to close. So I think obviously this is the beta version. I just think it is maybe a bit buggy, but yeah, seems like we do have quite a number of stuff that's running here. Let's actually just check if Exitium is showing it as blocked. Nope, I don't see Exitium here. Okay, but yeah, I'm not gonna linger too long on this. Now we're gonna hop over to Arcabit, which oddly enough, if you would have asked between these two who would have not survived, I would have chosen Arcabit, but clearly I would have been wrong in my decision now with Arcabit. I'm going to look at quickly what's running. So it seems like we've got one thread that might be an issue with a bit of a higher score. So let's quickly check that one out. Oh, and then the one thing we didn't check for COMODO was the startup items, but we'll come back to that. Now I see this Arcabit downloader. Okay, so it is a Trojan. Seems like a lot of known AV vendors are aware of this. AVG, ESET, Kaspersky, Webroot, and then with Secure, aka F-Secure. Okay, so we're gonna close that. Okay, so we might have one issue there. Let's quickly look at our startup items. Just gonna move it this way. Startup items seems like we've got calculator, this file guard, homepage application, this one here, broken. We've got Kiwi. This one looks a bit sus. Okay, so update roaming. Okay, so we've got the startup item here. I don't normally do this, but let's do it. I want to add it to virus turtle and see if it is actually malicious. Okay, we're gonna move that to that side. We're gonna drag and drop this bad boy here. I don't think it is actually going to be malicious. Then we've got this weird one here. Hamster. Okay, that sounds fun. Let's have a look, see if our hamster is a aggressive hamster with rabies. Okay, this one's uploading, so I think this is a huge file. Okay, cool. Only grind soft, so I don't think that's malicious. Let's drag and drop it to this one. Okay, so it doesn't seem like they might be malicious. But yeah, this is normally the effort that you have to put in to check if everything's malicious, which I normally don't. I just look at startup items and things like that. Now we're gonna close this. Gonna look at our programs. Now we've got a couple of extra additional programs installed here, which just looks like they are POPs or POAs. This is one of the AVs I actually want to test. This Outbite AV Armor. It looks like it's an Australian company. I did look them up to see if it's a legitimate AV company. It looks like it is, so I actually want to do a test of this sometime in the future. And then yeah, a couple of things that are installed here, but it doesn't look too bad at all. And I didn't actually check if there's any ransomware on Arcabit, so let's quickly check. This add guard thing is annoying. Yeah, let's look at docs. There's the files that downloaded into test. Documents seems good. And our pictures are intact. Okay, cool. So yeah, complete opposite results. I'm gonna restart COMODO through the little prompt. I'm gonna reboot Arcabit normally, update them, do the scans, and we'll look at the results. Okie dokie, the scans are finally done. So it seems like COMODO found 356 things to complain about, and Arcabit found, I think it was 600 and something 631. So it seems like it has quarantined these files. Okay, so Arcabit's done. So COMODO did clean all these files. So it's issues on the desktop, the VT root folder, the containment folder, and I know there was a couple of issues somewhere else as well. But yeah, so issues are done. Now, as you guys can see, we do have a lot of pop-ups here, so I know a lot of people are going to ask pretty much how this infection took place. I'm really not sure. We will obviously need to check, but before I do, okay, so if we look at heaps is still set to a block request, and containment is obviously still enabled, and the only exclusion is for the scripts, website script, and then a script that I use to rename the files to PowerShell, and that's about it. So you'll see that we do have a lot of UACs here, so if we do allow them, they do get blocked. There's like a gazillion of these popping up every single time, but nothing is going to containment really. It seems like it's these same ones, they keep going to containment over and over and over again, but there's no pop-ups. But yeah, we do have a lot of weird activity on this machine, as you guys can see. Okay, so yeah, so COMODO is done with the scan. I did also do a quick rating scan, so there was a couple of unrecognized files. So these were the ones that weren't recognized. Okay, so that's done. Arcabit's done. We're gonna restart the machines again. Apply pages, yeah, go away, don't do this. And then we're going to do third-party opinion updates, scan them, and finish the test. Alrighty, so we are at the end of the test. Let's look at our final results. Now with COMODO, Hitman Pro has found 412 issues. And it seems like a lot of them are app data local, so all these bunch of exe crap. And then we've got app data local temp, and then app data local temp again, local, and then pictures. So those are the exes that we saw on the pictures. So there's a bunch of nonsense on this machine, unfortunately. Now on Arcabit, seems like we've got 7 issues. Also in pictures, we've got this problem here. Yep, also an exe, so it could be the similar exe, maybe that's on the COMODO machine. Then we've got app data local, and that's about that. Now on MPE, we've got 224 issues versus 28. So app data, program data, so we do have quite a bunch of issues here. Arcabit, 28 problems. App data local, we've got this exe, then desktop, but it always flags my script, and then public, so this will map to any new user that's created. Program files, local app data. Okay, cool, so we definitely have some issues there. Okay, it's now not responding. Yeah, let's just close it. Now we're going to look at MSciSoft. So we've got 154 versus 5. So program files, menu, program data, app data local. So yeah, and then 1 registry key. Okay, on Arcabit, nope, go back there. App data local, and that's about it. No registry issues. Okay, EZ quick scan. That's what we have. Okay, cool. So it seems like we've got program data, app data local, exes in the pictures that was detected. VT root is obviously the containment folder. So that shows that things did go into containment. Cryptic, so there's ransomware stuff as well. So I wonder if this is not ransomware that escaped the containment maybe, or just another ransomware that just did not go into containment, but in memory, here we can see cryptic. So this could be the payload for the ransomware that infected the machine. It could be, but it will need further investigation. Trojan cryptic. Yeah, okay, cool. So there's definitely ransomware found in memory. We're gonna close this. Okay, so on the Arcabit machine we only have 13 detections. Program files, app data, there's an auto start that was cleaned. Okay, we're gonna exit this out. Now on Malware we've got 98 issues versus 71 issues, so not too far off. Then we've obviously got app data and things like that. Malwarebytes not responding. Okay, while we wait for COMODO, we'll never mind, seems like Malwarebytes just closed. But yeah, okay, cool. So, but we do have a couple of issues here as well for Arcabit. And a couple of registry keys. Okay, let's close this. Okay. Okay, let's see what's still installed on the machine. So COMODO, not that much installed. We obviously don't get through the whole test. And then Arcabit does have a couple of PUPs here, but I think they can just be uninstalled. Now, we're not going to look at the COMODO pictures. We obviously know what happened there. Let's just see that everything is still fine with Arcabit. Cool, docs are intact. And our pictures are intact. Okay, cool. So let's wrap this test up, guys. Quick recap for COMODO. Bad results with the web protection, but that's normally the case with COMODO that I've seen. The web protection for the AVs are really bad, to be honest. But quite unexpected results from the AV side. This is not results that I did expect. There was only exclusions for the script, and everything went to containment. You guys saw some of the green borders and things like that. But yeah, so disappointing results from COMODO. Just bear in mind, this is a beta version. This is not final release, so let's not be too harsh about the results for COMODO. This is still beta test, so hopefully they will fix and improve a lot of the bugs and things like that. But unfortunately, COMODO has failed the test. For Arcabit, it was also bad results for the web protection, but was better than COMODO. But Arcabit's results was one of the least impressive results of the products we've tested for this year. For the AV side, I think it's a different story. I think it performed much better in the AV test than in the web test, but we do have a couple of issues here and there, but I don't think it's too bad. I think actually Arcabit didn't do bad at all, but we have seen better. And yeah, so I think that's that. I'll display the graph after this so that you guys can see the results, or what my findings are for every category, where how and well each of them performed. But yeah, interesting test, disappointing results from COMODO, but I'll test it again. Obviously these samples have now been submitted to COMODO, so they should get blocked. But yeah, interesting results, disappointing results as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the test. Hit me up in the comments if you guys want more tests and unique tests and or unique products versus each other, and I'll look into it and see which ones are feasible to do. But yeah, thanks again guys for watching. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Like and share the comment on your way out, and that's that. I'll catch you guys in the next test, and thanks again for watching.